Hi, friends. It gives me immense pleasure today. We have an extremely driven, passionate, and dynamic award winning entrepreneur with us today. She is a first woman entrepreneur in the experiential industry and also co founder of ICE Global and Witchcraft, which is already running a successful venture by Sushma Gaikwad. And in this recent time, she's launched a magazine and total holistic wellness, which is called Sukhoon. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Sushma Gaikwad today. Welcome, Sushma, to the Spark.
Thank you so much, Namrata. I was so excited. You have no idea. It is amazing to come on live. Entrepreneur Excel is very close to my heart, and you are very close to my heart. So I'm really grateful for having you invite me here. So it is very exciting. Thank you for that.
My pleasure, Sushma. So, just want to know, you are the first woman in the experiential industry, which is 3 decades. You are doing that, which is the very good thing that's surviving in this industry for 3 decades. And can you share something about your experiential business?
Well, Navita, very honestly, about 3 decades ago, there was no experiential business. Okay. There was nothing like event management. Nobody really knew what it was. It was more about passion. So when I started with a company. We started with 6 of us in that company. It was a premier event agency of the country. And that's when we really started developing the entire industry as it is known today. Then I was with them for about 7 years. After that, about 20 years ago, I set up my own venture. And I must tell you, the most exciting thing about at least being in this industry was I never viewed myself as a woman. I'm sorry I'm saying that. It sounds a little weird. I just saw myself, and I think that has really stood me in good stead over these years, is I've always seen myself as a professional, as a value contributor, never as a woman. So it was as much as with the guys as I was with the women. And yes, it was very exciting because over a period of time, I learned a lot, learned to develop strategies with brands, grew with my clients. And over these past 3 decades, it feels like I'm always home, and I've got an opportunity to constantly add value to myself and grow. So it was like exciting times. I must tell you, it was exciting. It was exciting. I remember we did this concert. It was a Deep Purple concert. I was the only girl on that entire, crew. And all the boys were like, you can't go home at 4 alone in the night. And, I'm talking about millions of years ago. And I was like, no, I can. This is safe. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm okay. I'm one of you. So I must say, we just have to be professionals. It's about equal opportunity. It's about both of us being part of the same coin. Men and women, part of the 2 sides of the same coin.
How did you get so much courage and confidence back then, before 3 decades?
So the amazing thing about youth, I'll tell you, yeah. So when we are young, you are fearless. And I think that is a quality we really need to hang on to, the fearlessness that youth gives. So I really never thought of it as a challenge. Of course, I was mindful. Before you get into a taxi, because back then you didn't even have mobiles or anything. I would ensure that somebody would put me in a cab, note down the number. You have to be mindful. You cannot be completely, Ram Bharose or saying, okay, now it's up to God. You have to be mindful. Even today, you have to be mindful. And I don't think it is so much about courage. It's about just doing what you have to do. And when you're passionate about something, it just drives you. Then you're not worried about the hours you work. You're never worried about the task you're doing. You're ready to be right from a boss of whatever you do to a worker of whatever you do. As long as there's passion, there's everything. So that was my 3 decades, literally in 3 sentences.
This passion has been continuous. So what is the secret behind this passion of entrepreneurship? What passion drives you?
That's a very interesting question. So I want to just share something with you, okay? When I went, I was about 20, 21, and I went abroad. I went to the States for further studies. And that's when the entrepreneurship bug bit me. I'm calling it a bug. So I'll tell you what really, and from there, I never looked back. Yes, when I came back into the country, I I was there in a job, but I never looked at it as a job. It was my own company. I was an entrepreneur. I mean, I owned it, and the way I worked it was I owned it. So I think I've always been an entrepreneur. Yet, I'll tell you what really drives me about being an entrepreneur. It is that one word, I'm going to count it, a 5-letter word called value. Value drives me a lot, Namrata. And value is not only about value that you bring in your product or value that you bring to your clients or customers. For me, value is about the value you can generate in relationships. It's about the goodwill you can create. So value you bring to a relationship, value you bring to a career, value that you bring to your team to enable them to grow their career. And that is something that really excited me. And today I'm on this journey about the only perspective is what is the value I can bring to my industry. And that value is, for me, my generator. Of course, like I said, it's not only about being an entrepreneur. If you have a job, it's about being an entrepreneur mindset. And I think if you've got that mindset and you cultivate it, you can bring value everywhere that you are, anywhere. Because, Namrata, like, for example, look at us. Yeah, we connected. And when we connect, when you're bringing value into each other's lives, then automatically there are many more enhancements that happen. There are collaborations that happen because you want to see each other all the time. So if you ask me why entrepreneurship, I would say value. And the reason behind that value is people, because I love people. Oh my God. I'm like a people's person, if there is any word like that.
I've seen it. I have witnesses, Sushma. The person who meets you once, the value you add in the relationship, they just magnetize towards you again and again. And I have multiple times seen that in everything.
Thank you. But you know what? Namrata, I want to add, okay? We always say, give value to other people. Yet it's very important to know that while we're giving value to other people also bring value to us. We grow as entrepreneurs. We grow as professionals. We grow as friends. We grow in a relationship. The amount of value you brought to me as a friend, is unsurpassed. So I think the value is a two-way stream. As long as we embark and we are in that boat, you can actually go upstream and downstream, because whenever, you can just go anywhere you want because you're in the right boat. And that is of great relationships.
That is very important, Sushma. When you have such strong values, I want to know, according to you, what is the meaning of successful entrepreneur? What do you mean by success in this industry?
Oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to give you this answer in two ways. Okay, one way, because I always like to address every answer with two perspectives. Okay, so if you ask on a very human level, what is success? I feel success is doing exactly what makes you fulfilled, what fulfills you. If it fulfills you and it fulfills others that you work with, that's success. That's on a very deeper level. Okay, for me, that's what success is. Another part, now if I look at success at another aspect, there are various aspects of success. You have monetary success, you have spiritual success, you have market success, you have value success, right? Now the question is, which part of success drives you? And as long as you're clear about what part of that success you want, you're successful. There's this whole aspect, everyone, and I keep seeing it, I see it on, I will not use the platforms on social media. And there is a lot, like Namrata, I coach a lot. I'm a leadership coach. And on the other hand, I also run an institute for media. And I've realized that everyone's taking themselves too seriously. Yeah. And one of the factors that we're gauging ourselves is in the factor of comparison. So whenever we're comparing, we feel unsuccessful. So my singular mindset is no comparison. Do as much as that you can do. Flex your muscles as much as they can grow, and keep pushing your muscles to grow more, only as much as brings fulfillment to you. So that has always been my mantra. Always, always. There is no comparison for me. There's no competition also.
That's a wonderful insight, Sushma. When I introduced you, I didn't say that you are a leadership coach, but because you are coaching so many leaders whom I know that they are really very big, big leaders. So, Sushma, can you tell what the leaders are currently going through in this scenario? What is your experience with leaders?
Yeah, so there's a primary focus right now. The focus is, yes, of course, there's an onward journey of what are we going to do in the future. Yet the primary focus is enabling the teams we have right now. Yeah, making our enterprise robust so that it can withstand. Yeah. Another very critical thing, which is very interesting, which I'm going to share with you, that has been most of 3 months. You know how busy I've been. I've been constantly like at it, at it. The most interesting aspect, I'll tell you, that leaders are really looking at right now is number one, delving within themselves, and number two, creating very strong relationships, not only with their senior teams, but all the way down to grassroots level. So that is something that is becoming one new, which is very exciting because still now, I mean, some enterprises were very disconnected with what was happening on the grassroots level. Now they become very interested in understanding what's happening at the grassroots level, and which will serve each of the enterprises very well in the long run. So that is what the vibe is going around, if I can use this word very, the sentence very openly, is how can we enhance communication? How can we not only enhance, how can we draw an entire team closer? Because they've understood that, and everyone knew it, yet now, because we're going through whatever we're going through, the value of idea generation, the value of innovation, the value of innovative thought is felt even more now than it was felt earlier.
Right, right. Very true. That's a very important message what you are giving, Sushma, that you have to connect to the grassroots level and communication is very, very important. So what made you, in spite of having two successful ventures in this
Right.
lockdown, you not only retained all your staff, but you also appointed some new and started this new venture in this lockdown. What drives you towards that? Like, how do you
So,
did that?
so I'll tell you, I've got a little honest confession to make, okay? The honest confession to make is that what we're doing now, what we've embarked on is our passion. Not only a passion, actually, it is a dream. And we were working on this dream initiative, which is called Sukhoon, for about 2 years. And like we've been talking about it. And what happened, the lockdown provided us an impetus. It gave us the most amazing cashable commodity, which is called time. And we utilized those 3 months that we had to get the team together. And we said, you know what, just before the lockdown is when we started saying, you know what, this is the time. We've got to launch this. This is the time we've got to move ahead with our vision, because this is our vision. This is our future. So my partner, who happens to be my better half, that's my husband and I, were very clear about our vision for 2 years. This gave us an opportunity to embark on that vision. And then what did we do? We actually got our team together because, see, Namrata, the entire industry, so I'm part of many industries, you're aware of that. I'm part of the event and experiential industry. I'm part of the education industry. I wear many hats. And I'm very much been part of the wellness industry as well. Yeah. So since Sukhoon was a wellness initiative, we said, this is the best time we get the team. So we got the team together. We reskilled the team. And we got them up and going. And the amazing thing is that the team stood by us. So we're very grateful for our team. They stood by us. They wanted the same vision. So it was like, we are all like, some of them are working till 3 a.m. Do you know that? Because they've got a purpose now. And working together, when you've got purpose, it's so exciting that we don't consider this a lockdown at all. We're so excited with it, because there is purpose. And then, yes, you're right. We took a call, my partner and Pramod and I, we took a call that we're going to retain our staff. Because one part of the industry, which is the event and experiential industry, is in the complete standstill. And majority of the staff was from there. And we took a call that, you know what, Namrata, this is the team that has stood by you when you are up about and you're on the top of your game and your industry leaders, they're the ones who have enabled you and they're the wings, they're literally the wind beneath your wings, right? And now when this has happened, as an entrepreneur, it is very important that you plan for circumstances such as this. So I mean, not that we ever imagine that something like this will happen, yet you plan. There has to be a contingency plan right from the, when you're evolving and right from the word go. And that's exactly what we did. So we're very excited about our new initiative, Namrata, very excited. And we've done a step-by-step plan and we're right on the matrix. We're working well with it.
That's really amazing, Sushma. You have passed on your values to your team. They are there for you, and you are nicely, driving them by the passion and showing them clear vision where we are going and heading. And in this event industry, otherwise all event industries were like, oh, what will we do? And they actually removed so many staff. And you came up with a new innovative idea, and you reinvented this idea. So how did you think of reinventing this idea?
So, Namrata, I think the idea, so I really believe, and I'm sorry I'm giving a little gyan, but I'm just going to share what my belief is. And
We want your gyan, Sushma, we want your gyan. That's why we called you here.
So, the thing is that everyone talks about reinvention. So there's something I want to propose. It is not about reinvention. It is about evolution. So when you evolve, is when your path shows up for you. Yeah, now that is the softer side of what I'm saying. Now, what we are meant to do is there in our periphery. People are talking about it. The concern that I have is most of us are not listening. So we think that ek hi business karna hai, or rather, I have just this one business. Yet diversity, it's about also diversification. It's very important as a business person, if you're doing your business right, to diversify and diversify into an industry where the need exists. So that's exactly what we did. So yes, on a softer level, for us, Sukhoon was our passion, it was our vision, it was our dream, yet it was a process of evolution for us rather than a complete reinvention. Yeah. So we have evolved into Sukhoon. And yes, the industry is going to bounce back. Yet it'll bounce back in the new avatar, the other industry. That's the experiential industry. And when they are, we're getting the team ready as well. It's about also holding the hands of your clients because those clients have been with us for 2 decades. So it's there, you have to be with your clients, right? So it is also about getting your clients connected with your dream, your new dream, your new vision. And also seeing how we can tie everything that we're doing together under one umbrella, which becomes your macro vision. So that's my
That's really great. That's really Sushma. Tell me something about Sukhoon. Like what is it about? You are into holistic wellness. So how do you manage that complete holistic wellness? Can you explain something more about what it is?
So, okay, so I thank you for this platform and for giving me an opportunity to share what our passion is and what the initiative exactly is. So, we all know that wellness is the most primary aspect, which is it's so important, especially in today's day and age. Yet, what is holistic wellness? Holistic wellness is about driving wellness in each and every area of your life. When we look at wellness, usually we think about the gym or we talk about physical fitness. Now there is an entire aspect of mental fitness, which is important. Yet there are other aspects of wellness as well. Emotional fitness, for example, financial fitness, relationship fitness. And that's the entire holistic perspective that we have at Sukhoon. So what we've done is we've begun a conversation. Yeah. So that is step number 1. We've created a community, and our endeavor is to get holistic wellness into communities across the world. So our platform is right now, we're on social media, and the platform is called Sukhoon Official, Sukhoon Official. Everyone who's watching, please do check it out. And our purpose is that to enable the youth of today to get connected to the idea of complete wellness. And because like the minute I say holistic wellness, I'm young in my mind. Even I would switch out. I was like, what is this? Holistic. मैं तो ठीक हूँ, मैं gym जाता हूँ. I go to the gym. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm aware. It's not about awareness. It's about adoption. It is not only about awareness. It's about adopting practices. It's about adopting a new lifestyle. It's adopting a way of life. And that's what Sukhoon stands for, is building these communities that start these most important conversations and drive knowledge and also create opportunities for adoption.
Okay, that's really a very in-depth topic, Sushma. So, holistic wellness, mental, emotional. How do you manage to, tell all the four aspects and maybe even more? So, how do you manage yourself to be mentally fit, emotionally fit? What do you do? I know you go away to Himalaya very often. So, what is that about? Please tell us something about it.
So you want to know about me, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. People like they joke around, like they next time I'm wearing saffron gown and walking around, they say, "Oh, it is quite normal." Well, I'll tell you where the journey began personally for me. Okay, about 15 years ago, till about 15 years ago, I battled. I will say the word battle. I'm using this very very carefully. This word. I battled depression. Okay. And I was successful in my own right. I was doing well, but there was always this little bit of loneliness that was always in me. There was this sadness, unexplained sadness. It's unexplained. Everything is fine in your life. And then when I went to a doctor, the doctor, of course, said, at the end of it, it was like that I am clinically depressed. And she prescribed me pills. And she said, you got to take these pills. And there was something in me that said, I'm sure there is another answer to this, that I would not need to go under medication. Not that I'm saying that medication is wrong. There are cases that medication is required. Yet for me, there was this inner wisdom that said, I'm sure there is some way that I can find, because it's my mind that's doing it. I'm sure there's some answer to how I can harness my mind. And that began my journey in exploration. So when I started exploring, I went right from Kanyakumari to Himalayas, right up and down.
Yeah.
15 years. I started learning. I started adopting. That's the key. It's not only learning, it's adopting. And I myself am a holistic wellness practitioner, started meeting practitioners. And the aspect that I've realized about myself, Namrata, and I'm sharing that, is there are 2, 3 things that I do and which I would really urge everyone to do. Number one is always, there is a difference between contemplation, yeah, and analysis. We tend to always analyze, yeah. So number one, always be in contemplation about, what, okay, this is working well for me. This is what I need to do. Yet don't get into hyper analysis, because I, as a personality, always used to tend to analyze. I still catch myself analyzing. So that is one distinction I have realized for myself. Number two, treat your body with love. Yeah. So when we treat our body with love, and what do I mean by that? Like everyone is talking about the lockdown, they put on a lot of weight, etc. I'm working in the lockdown this period, 20 hours a day. You know that, yeah? Almost 20 hours. Because I don't get sleep. I just sleep 4, 5 hours. I can't sleep. I'm too excited in life. Yet I'm very mindful. So be mindful about what you feed your body. Be mindful about what you feed your mind, most important, and be mindful about what you feed your relationships. So surround yourself with people that enhance you and that you can enhance. Always ensure, because that's about relationships, right? And what you feed your mind, because if you're constantly consuming, I don't use the word negative and positive, if you're constantly consuming disempowering information, your mind gets wired very differently. So for me, it's just these things I do. That's all. This is my mantra. Just I'm as mindful as I possibly can be. And for example, if I'm not mindful, I endeavor, I can't say I've cracked the code yet. I endeavor not to be guilty. Array,
Yeah.
this didn't happen. I could not do this. or I've not managed to do this, I've not managed to be do well by my team, or I've not managed to do well by this relationship. You have to let it go. So I know I sound like Ma Sushma in this,
No,
yet
no. Not at all, Shushma. See, the way easily you are using the word mindful, it is not that easy. That is one thing I know. And what
yes,
you rightly said is very true. Once, like, suppose if I indulge in overeating, the guilt kills me, you know. So it's like that. So these two are very important things. So how to first be mindful is also a very big task, and then not having guilt also is a very big task. So what you are saying is really, really very, very, very difficult to do, and you are telling it so easily. So I'm wondering, how do you do it?
so would you like me to give you one technique?
Yes, I would love. I would love.
So
Hmm.
I've got this one simple technique that I use that was taught to me by my first teacher, and I'm going to use her name because she taught it to me. Her name is Kunti Nagwekar, and she taught me this technique. This technique is whenever you think and you hear yourself thinking something that is disempowering, you say cancel, cancel. Say it twice, and you reframe. So what happens is your subconscious mind is like a sponge. It's constantly absorbing information. And what you are doing is by being disempowering to yourself in your thought, your subconscious mind is being activated by that disempowering conversation. So the one way you can break the circuit is by actually saying cancel, cancel, and reframe. Believe me, it works. Another thing I do is I practice something called alpha level breathing. You can look it up on the net. It's a very interesting breathing technique that enables you to always be constantly calm and present and in the moment. Look it up. It's available on the net. It's called alpha level. The minute you're getting alpha level, what's happening is you're activating alpha level brain waves. And when you're in alpha level brain waves, your experience shifts and you become completely calm to the point that your heartbeat regularizes. It has a great, profound effect on your physiology as well as your mental state. So practice these two things and then you call me and tell me and let me know if it
Yeah,
works.
definitely. Both are very wonderful tips, Shushma. One is an alpha level breathing, and another is cancel, cancel. That's really very powerful giveaway, Shushma. So just before we sign off, I want you to give one very powerful message to the audience about how you continuously carry on with your vision and drive your whole team towards your vision. So wanted to know, where does all this come from?
Okay, so there is just a simple thing I'd like to say is for all of us who are entrepreneurs here. Number one is clarity. As long as we have clarity, and believe me, there are many who are saying we don't have clarity. I would really request you stop telling yourself that story. I do not know what I'm going to do. Yeah, stop saying, go out, reach out, ask anybody for help, ask your friend, ask a coach, get yourself a coach and say, hey, listen, I want to have clarity on my enterprise. The number aspect two is communication. Always be in communication with your team. If you have a team standing, be in communication with your industry, and always be in communication with your customer and clients. So, like I said, clarity. The second is communication. And the third is consciousness. Be mindful. Be mindful about, because what you give, you get, right? What value you give, you get. What lack of service you give, you get. So be mindful about how you are, what is your relationship with the world and with yourself. Be mindful, because that is another important aspect. Consciousness is a very important aspect, especially when you're an entrepreneur, because if you're conscious of your decision and conscious of your choices, automatically the level of your enterprise moves, it shifts dramatically. We're at a state right now by operating on these three C's. Very honestly, Namrata, you can see we're always joyous and we're feeling purposeful. And when you are joyous and purposeful, the next automatic step is that success comes in.
Yes,
It's
Sushma, and
not,
I've always seen that energy in you. I've always seen that. And mindfulness tips, what you have given, I surely want to have one full session with you on
yeah.
mindfulness and, bring that awareness, because this is so rare to be this positive, this energetic, always what you have been in so many businesses, and always happy, smiling, and calm.
No, I agree. The thing is, Namrata, in closing, I really want to say, you feel that you're going to attain something and then you become successful. Yeah, like you get a car, gadi bangla, you obtain this kind of financial strength or this car or this house, and then I'm successful. Actually, you become successful first, and that's when after that, you will attain everything. So it's about being successful first, feeling successful first, driving success to yourself and others first. And then that is a natural progression for all of us.
That's a wonderful learning today, Sushma. Every time I meet you, I learn great things from you and great takeaway for our audience from Spark. Thank you for your time, and we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your presence.
Thank you. And everyone, please do follow Sukhoon, please. Sukhoon official. It is Sukhoon. And please support us and please spread the message of wellness, well-being, and abundance. Thank you so much. Thank you, Namrata. Thank you, Entrepreneur Excel. Spark series are fabulous. And to the Indian Sun, I think you guys are rocking.
Welcome. Thank you, Sushma.
Thank you, dear.
Yes.